Folks, let me tell you, getting married is a big step. It's not something you just jump into without looking before you leap. This ain't some fling, it's a lifelong commitment. And believe me, I've seen what happens when couples go in unprepared. They run into the first bump in the road and boom, they're headed straight for divorce court. That's why Vincent and Laura Ketchie put together this little pre-marital checklist. They want you to be prepared, to know what you're getting into, and most importantly, to be on the same page. Before you dive into these questions, do yourselves a favor. Take a moment to pray together. Ask for guidance, clarity, and honesty. Then, roll up your sleeves and dig into these questions. Be honest with yourselves and with each other. Remember, this isn't about being right or wrong. It's about figuring out if you're truly compatible for the long haul. So you're about to pledge your lives to each other. But have you taken the time to understand each other's spiritual backgrounds? Alright, let's talk about faith. How important is your spiritual life together? How often will you pray, study the Bible, or practice your faith as a couple? Let's talk about church. Will you go together? How often? And how involved do you see yourselves being in a church community? Now think about the future. If you have children, how will you pass on your faith? Will church be a regular part of their lives? Let's talk about kids. Do you both want them? How many? This is a big one, folks, so don't shy away from the conversation. If you decide to have children, what happens then? Will one of you stay home? For how long? Who'll be the breadwinner? Think back to your childhoods. Were you in every club and sport, or did your parents keep things low-key? What about your own kids? Education is huge. Public school, private school, homeschooling. What kind of education do you envision for your children? Sometimes life throws curveballs. What if you can't have children naturally? Would you consider adoption or fertility treatments? Family planning is crucial. How will you prevent unplanned pregnancies? What are your views on contraception? Be prepared. Every family has traditions. Which ones from your childhood will you carry forward, and what new traditions will you create together? It's time to get real about health. Are there any skeletons in your medical closets? Be honest about your medical histories. Aging parents can be a sensitive topic. Would you ever have them live with you? What are your expectations for caring for them? Let's be honest, family can be a handful. How much time will you spend with each other's families? Set realistic boundaries. Holidays can be stressful. How will you celebrate them? Whose family will you see? Talk it out and avoid future arguments. Let's talk money. How would you feel if the wife made more than the husband? This can be a touchy subject, so be honest. Life throws curveballs. What's your plan if one of you loses their job? Having a backup plan can prevent major stress down the line. Are you a spender or a saver? Do you live paycheck to paycheck, or are you a budgeting guru? Knowing your financial styles is key. A budget is essential for a healthy financial life. Will you budget together? How often? Get on the same page financially. Will you share bank accounts and credit cards, or keep things separate? This is a big decision, so weigh the pros and cons. Let's talk about intimacy. What are your expectations in the bedroom? Remember, communication is key, and compromise is essential. Boundaries are crucial. How do you feel about your partner spending time with someone of the opposite sex without you present? Life happens. How would you handle a situation where illness or injury put intimacy on hold for a while? Be honest with each other. Business trips, deployments, they happen. How will you stay connected when you're apart? Communication is crucial for long-distance love. Accountability, your secret weapon. Accountability partners can be lifesavers. Have you considered having someone you trust to talk to about temptations and challenges? Furry friends politics in the house, let's talk pets. Are you a dog person, a cat person, or no pets allowed? Decide on this before you end up with an unwanted roommate. Chore wars. Who does what? Chores. They're a fact of life. How will you split them? Create a plan to avoid resentment and arguments down the line. Life insurance planning for the unexpected. It's not the most pleasant topic, but it's important. Do you have life insurance? Who are your beneficiaries? Get your affairs in order. The organ donor decision. Organ donation is a personal choice. Have you discussed your wishes with each other? This is a conversation that shouldn't be avoided. Living will taking control of your future. A living will is crucial. It outlines your wishes for medical care if you become incapacitated. Don't put this off. Life support is a deeply personal decision. What are your views on it? Talk about it now and make sure your wishes are known. You'd be surprised how many arguments start over food. What are your eating habits like? Are you a health nut or do you live for takeout? Free time fun or frustration? How do you like to spend your free time? Are you a homebody or an adventurer? Make sure your leisure activities align. Alcohol. To drink or not to drink? Alcohol can be a source of contention in relationships. What are your views on drinking? Be honest about your limits and expectations. Ready to say I do? Look, this checklist might seem overwhelming, but trust me, it's better to address these issues now than to let them fester and explode later. Remember, this isn't about being right or wrong. It's about understanding each other, respecting each other's viewpoints, and finding ways to compromise. Of course, this list is a springboard for more questions you may have for each other. Use this list as an opportunity to bring up other questions you may have for each other. The goal is to build a strong, healthy, and happy marriage. And that starts with honest communication and a willingness to work together as a team. So, take your time, be honest, and most importantly, listen to each other. This is your life, your marriage, your future. Make it count.